Good evening, and thank you very much for coming and attending the opening of our Republican headquarters. My name is Keith Bishop. I'm proud to have served you folks in the town on the Guilford Board of Education since 1991, and I look forward to another 4 years term to serve for you. We've had great accomplishments here in our town in the tenure that I have been here serving on the Board of Education and working with you folks. And I look forward to the opportunity to take and work with an even better team more moving ahead. As Jim has just outlined, we've got a great team of candidates that you'll be hearing from in a few minutes. And under Republican leadership, we can continue to do more and better things and the ideas that we've had to move it forward. Our school system is the backbone of property values here in our community, as it is in most communities. The first thing people look for when they move into a community is what are the school systems, because there's younger families starting out that have children primarily that are moving in. Those who are turning around selling want their property values to be high because they're folks who are looking to take and move on to the next stage of their life, and they've put the equity into the home properties that they don't want to see going down. It's a very fine, delicate balancing act to balance what the school system educational needs are and the cost of running that versus what the school system does for our community to enhance our property values. We continue to improve every year since I've been on the Board of Education. Our test scores have continued to rise. The academics and the opportunities that our children have continued to grow. There's a lot more expected out of our school systems here in the United States and in our community than ever before. Unfortunately, we're saddled with many more issues, socially, mentally, and other challenges that were not part of the educational system when I graduated from Guilford High School in 1973. Those are the things that we have to deal with those and are put in front of us. Many of you have been in our schools, some of you have taught in our schools, and you know that we have to take care of our buildings. I'm proud to say that on the facility side, I've taken a great interest in making sure that moving ahead, we do the right thing for the next 2 or 3 generations and look at what we need to have to do it in a cost-effective way, but not shortchange ourselves in the short run to turn around and have buildings that end up with problems in 10 to 15 years. We've been actively working on solutions here for facilities at Guilford High School and Adams Middle School. There are many complications to the process that has delayed the tactics. In 2003, after a proposal by the Board of Ed for an Adams school, it was defeated. We stepped backwards. I took the action of saying we need to turn around and have a community task force to pull this thing back together. Let's look at it, let's study it, and make sure that we can do the right thing moving ahead. We've had that task force. We've had a great number of volunteer hours by very dedicated people and professionals from a number of walks of life here, including engineering, design, people who know what they're talking about when it comes to facilities. And unfortunately, the process has been stalled. Here it is, 1993. We've been almost ready to go to referendum, almost ready to put things forward, but there's another question, there's another concern. And what does that turn into? Instead of actually actively getting ourselves to a solution, we now all of a sudden have an economic reality that has hit us front sides, and we've lost the opportunity to take advantage of that situation to get cost-effective bids that will be considerably lower than what we'll be facing in the next 2 or 3 years as our economy rebounds. So that part of it has fallen on the Democratic leadership in the town to delay and continue to turn around and ask more questions that have been answered before and to move us ahead. I ask for your support in making sure that we can move this ahead and that we do it in a balanced way that both protects the taxpayers as well as looks ahead for the future of what our bonding is and what this town needs to have afford and to offer to our children. The lost dollars due to the bonding costs that will be more later on are hard to tell exactly at this point in time. But it's a grave concern to me that all of a sudden, instead of looking at the best possible situation that we could have had by moving ahead a year to a year and a half ago, that the Democrats delayed that process, and here we are waiting till 2010 or possibly 2011 to bring a proposal back to you, the voters. On an unrelated note to the facilities, our superintendent has been doing a wonderful job and bringing together professional learning communities concept to our school system. That has had a new bent and tactic on how we deliver our educational process, has made the employees the more of an active part. They're teaching now with each other rather than taking and teaching a alongside in their own classrooms, basically closing the door, doing their curriculum work, but then moving ahead independently. There's a lot of corroboration effort going ahead. That has aided in moving ahead the test results and the good work that we've done. Finally, I'd like to close by saying we've got a great team that is running with me. Tonight you will be meeting John Ireland and Sue Renners, newcomers to the Board of Education as far as candidates goes. I ask for your wholehearted support for them. They've done a wonderful job. We've had many hours that we spent together talking about the issues, and also to re-elect Linda Santacora, who has been with us on the board for 2 years. With that, I thank you very much for your past support. Look forward to reserving you on the Board of Education and making Guilford a better place to live and to work. Thank you very much.